So Adam, we'll briefly talk about Monday's game against Oldham. You were obviously a little bit disappointed after the game. So what has the reaction been like on the training ground this week?
It's been good. I think, disappointed, but watching the game back, give credit to the opponents, and I thought some of our play was a little bit loose, and we wasn't as clean on the ball as what we have been. So a bit of that's the opposition, and a bit of that's our own making. So stuff for us to work on. But sometimes the harsh reality is we're playing against a very good side. Oldham are no mugs, good management behind them, and they've come up with a game plan to make it difficult for us.
And when you maybe look back on the game now, like you will have done, does your perspective maybe change ever so slightly, knowing that was a valuable point to Oldham? I think they'll probably be a bit more. They come to our place and felt like they limited us to very few chances, and probably had a few more half chances themselves. So they'll probably be a bit more disappointed that they haven't gone on to win the game than what we were. I think we want to keep on pushing our standards and focus on what we can control, and that's our game. And there's elements of that was good, but in the main we worked the ball one side, and then we'd try for a switch, and it'd either go out of play, go under someone's foot, or we just was a little bit loose with the final bit, or whether we went to play a ball in behind, we leave it on the defender's head, or switches of play we didn't do enough. So there's definitely stuff that we'd look back and go, we can get better ourselves at as well. Injuries then, there's obviously 2 games to go in the regular season. How's the squad looking for these final couple of games? Yeah,
Sam and Ollie done an amazing job with the squad. Ryan's back doing some running, so he's still not going to be available for either of these 2 games, but he's progressing along nicely. He's the only real one that's missing. Dippo's come back in and done some training this week, so be available for the bench and the squad, and we're hoping, providing he doesn't have any reaction to his injury, he'll be available for selection. So really good, clean bill of health apart from Ryan at the moment, and really pleased with that.
Solihull are this weekend's opponents. What can you say about their team and their style of play?
It probably took a while for Matt to come in, implement his ideas. I don't think it's too dissimilar. They've got a DNA of how they want to play as a club, and that's possession based, and they're set up with a similar sort of structure to what Oldham set up with. So we've got to find ways, be a bit more patient, switch play, wait till we get our overloads, and not just force the ball on one side. So there's lots for us to work on there. But Matt's come in, he's done unbelievable. He's turned things around. A bit tricky for him at the start. Jerry in there as well. So 2 really good guys, really good football people, and I'm pleased that they're doing well.
They've won the last 3. Crucially, Saturday's win against Boston secured their safety once and for all. So they've had a positive week. How difficult is it to play against a team that's riding on such a high like that?
They'll be keen to keep going with their momentum, take this momentum into next season, and start next season well. That'll be the key messages for them. I have no doubt about that. Like I say, can't sort of underestimate any opponent in the National League. You'd be foolish to do that. One thing I've learnt this season, mentally you've got to be switched on, and you've got to be ready for each and every test, because if a team senses a bit of weakness in your team, they'll punish you. So we've got to be ready for the game. They're obviously on a high, secured their safety, and they'll be looking to get as many points on the board as they can and get some momentum into next year.
They had a managerial change midway through this season. It took a while for his side to get going, but they have finally started to find their groove now under his management. So what could that potentially look like tomorrow?
Like I say, both Matt and Jerry that have gone in there, good football people, know their stuff. It's only a matter of time before they started getting their team ticking, and they'll be pleased with the upturn in results. So I think we'll come up against a team that playing without any fear, got some momentum, playing with lots of confidence, and we're hoping that we can sort of play with some ourselves, because we're 6 unbeaten as well, 5 of those wins. So we've got a bit of momentum going as well, and we want to finish the season with that.
I guess to
compared to maybe Solihull and York? Obviously, when you came in last season, a similar sort of situation to what Solihull had faced this season. Do they think maybe they could maybe take some inspiration from what you've done at York, maybe what to take to Solihull?
I'm sure they won't be bothered about what I've done, but yeah, I think any team like similar, isn't it? New manager come in, a similar sort of period, took a while to get going, but then found a bit of form, and yeah, they'll be trying to take some momentum. You know, bringing their players that they want to bring in the summer, similar to what we did, and then start the season well. And yeah, I think you know, Solihull will be back there fighting for those playoff places, if not better, next season under this management and under you know, the good structure they got above and how they run the club.
Like I said, they've won 3 in a row. We're unbeaten in 6, with 5 of those being wins. I won't jinx myself, but it's teed up, you know, to potentially be a great game of football. Yeah,
hopefully. That's probably the disappointing thing. I think we had a full house here, it's one of the biggest crowds, and it was like a bit of a dab affair, really, and you know, largely down to ourselves being, you know, poor in the ball at times. So there's improvement there for us. And we want, you know, to be a team that entertains the fans, and you know, I think both teams are going to try and do that, and we're hoping that, you know, touch wood, it's not a 0-0 now, and I've cursed it, but we want both teams to be entertaining. We want to entertain the crowd. You know, a lot's been made of the Premier League and the Manchester derby recently being such a dab affair, and you know, pretty boring to watch. And you know, we don't want to generate that here. We want to really keep the fans entertained, and you know, we've got to do more in front of and work the goalkeeper a lot more than what we did on Monday, and that's going to be our challenge. And I'm sure Solihull will want to entertain their fans and leave them happy. So yeah, it's down to both teams to come out and give their all, and I'm sure they will, to play relaxed, and like I said, both teams got momentum at the moment, so I think it's all the makings of a really good game.
And for ourselves, how much of a good test do you think this game will be for a potential playoff campaign, if that is how it's going to finish?
I think all the games so far, we've had some games playing against the top of the table, Solihull and Eastleigh, to finish, both real tough games. You know, going to Eastleigh is not easy. So yeah, 2 different tests, different challenges, and I think you know, perfect to set us up ready for a playoff campaign.
Thanks for your time, Adam.
Cheers, thank you.